Hi, Shalom. It's your brother Dan Olive from the 716 area, and I'm back with a quick breakdown through the spirit and power, and Lord's willing. All right, this can exhortate you, man. Right? So without further ado, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, for giving me the inspiration to do this video. All right? And salutations to the brothers and sisters that magnify this truth on the four corners of the earth and have given a body as a living sacrifice. All right, and double honors to our elders as well. Right, so I want to start here. All right, in the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 16. And we're going to entitle this, The Shield of Faith. All right. You wanna be faithful until death. But at the same hand, on the same token, you got to know that your faith is going to be your protection, man, in these last days. All right? Through all the trials and tribulations, all we do have, all right, literally, is our faith, man. All right? So, yeah, let's kick this off. As Ephesians chapter 6, verse 16, it says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right, so with the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you're going to be able to battle against all type of demons. All right, you're going to be able to take down all type of strongholds. All right, you're going to be able to overcome all the lusts and ultimately the world and all the tests that Satan desires to throw your way. Okay? This is Genesis chapter 15, verse 1. It says, after these things, the word of the Lord came into Abraham in a vision, saying, fear not, Abraham, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. And we know that the Lord considered Abraham a friend, man. Why? Because of his faithfulness. All right. See, Abraham had works and faith. All right. And we got to be in the spirit of Abraham in these last days. If you want to be delivered, if you want to see the kingdom, all right, you have to have faith, man. All right. So this is Psalms chapter 56 and verse 10. It says, in God will I praise his word. In the Lord will I praise his word. In Yahweh will I put my trust. All right. I will not be afraid what a man can do unto me. Right. So if you're faithful, man, you're not going to be afraid of what a man, a nation, all right, or anything in that sense to threaten you, man. Why? Because you got faith in the Lord. All right. There were no prophets from old that were ever confounded that had their faith in the Lord, man. All right. And we see examples throughout the scriptures time after time after time after time. All right. So let's go to Psalms 56 and verse 3. It says, what time am I afraid? Now this is King David. What time am I afraid? You want to know why? What time? The man was never afraid because he believed in the Lord wholeheartedly. You got to be in the spirit of Abraham. You got to be in the spirit of David. We should be praying for more faith in these last days. It says, I will trust in thee. In Yahweh, I will praise his word. In God will I trust in his word. In God, I have put my trust. It says, I will not fear what the flesh can do unto me. You see that? So we not to be afraid. Yahweh did not create the spirit of fear. So we shouldn't be afraid of what this world can do to us, man. All right? We should want to serve the Lord. All of our faith should be in him, man. All right? This is the book of Daniel. I'm going to go into the 3rd chapter and start here. All right? In the 10th verse, and we're going to go into Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And we're going to see the amount of faith that these brothers had to be able to get delivered out of that fiery furnace, man. All right. And it's another example in the book of Daniel. All right. And I was just, I've been reading Daniel. So, I've meditated on it a little bit. And there's a few examples in the book of Daniel that show you, brothers that have, a large amount of faith, like Daniel himself. All right, Daniel was delivered into a lion's den. All right, he didn't go in that den with fear. He went in that den, all right, with faith. And what happened? Since he was a man of faith, the Lord sent his angels in there to protect him and close the mouths of the lion. And not a hair on the head was touched on Daniel. All right. So we got to have the type of faith as Daniel, right? So I just pulled out 3 examples of these mighty brothers or our forefathers having a large amount of faith. I just showed you how Abraham had faith. All right. We went into David. Now I'm speaking on Daniel. And then we're going to go into Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So these are 6 brothers and sisters, or Salakia, 6 kings, all right, who had a large amount of faith. All right, and all these examples are written for our learning, man. So we have to be in the same spirit if we want to see the kingdom of Yahweh, man. All right, so this is the book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "Thou, O king, has made a decree." So in this time, Nebuchadnezzar made a decree, all right, that every man and woman up under his rulership are to worship this golden image, right? It says, has made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, harpentry, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worship it, right, he shall be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. It says, there are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. So we got people snitching and telling on our forefathers, man, right? Saying that they're not bound down to this good golden image. So let's see what happens. Verse 13. Then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said unto them, is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Did not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? So he wanted to know, did you abandon my golden image? Have not you worshiped what I've put in front of you? Right? Verse 15. Now if ye be ready, that what time ye heard, Salakia, if it says, now if ye be not ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye shall fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that Yahweh that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said unto the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our Yahweh, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. So you let them know, like, look, man, we don't know what you think, but we serve the king, the Lord of Lords, man. And he's very able to deliver us up out of your hand, man. All right. This is verse 18. It says, but if not, it be known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the forms of his vengeance was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So he didn't have respect for them no more because they bucked up. All right. Because they were faithful to the Lord. It says, therefore he spoke and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. So he said, turn up the flame. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bend Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. It says, then these men were bound in their coats, in horsing, in their hats, and in their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So those men of Nebuchadnezzar's army, they got burned to death for just taking those brothers up to the fire, man, because it was so hot. And that was ultimately the Lord, man. It says, right? It says, and these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. It says, the Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spoke and said unto his counselors, did not we cast these three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. And he answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. So the spirit of Yahweh Shai was in there with them, man. These angels was surrounding our forefathers, man, and protecting them from being burnt. All right. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spoke and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Yahweh. It says, come forth. It says, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth out of the midst of the fire, and the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men upon their bodies in the fire, had no power, nor was a hair on their head singled. It says, neither were the coats changed, nor the smell of the fire had passed on them. It says, Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said, blessed of the Lord Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It says, who has sent their angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the Lord's word, the Salakia, and has changed the king's word and yield their bodies, right? That they might not serve or nor worship any god except their own. So now Nebuchadnezzar is like, I'm going to make a decree that these men, they don't have to worship no pagan image, man. All right? That these men, they can worship their own God. Right? It says, therefore, I make a decree that every nation, tongue, and language which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces. It says, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. It says, then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So now he had a great respect because they didn't fold, and they were able to show their faith through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because they didn't give up, man. They didn't lose faith. So that shield of faith protected them, man. Right? And ultimately, that shield of faith will be the angels, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. All right? So we got to remember in these last days that the Lord is going to protect us, man. Right? That's why it says to put on the whole armor of the Lord, man. Right? And a part of that armor is the shield of faith. All right? So I hope it was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Mighty Shalom is Dan Allah signing off.